Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome or welcome back to Chef Vic Cuisine. Today we're making oven roasted potatoes. Now imagine waking up to the tantalizing aroma of crispy golden brown oven roasted potatoes that are not only crispy on the outside but so tender on the inside. Stay tuned to see how we get that done. So let's get started. Alright, so jumping right into this recipe, we want to preheat our oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit or 232 degrees Celsius. And we're going to need about 2.5 pounds worth of red potatoes, which depending on the size will be about 5 large potatoes. You want to dice these into about 1/2 inch cubes. Don't worry about peeling them, but you want to make sure that each potato is nice and washed and dried off. And you also want to aim to make sure that all the pieces are about the same size so that when you cook them, they all cook evenly. Next up, we're also going to need 1 large white onion, and we're going to dice that also into a similar size, about 1/2 inch pieces. You want to set that aside, and we'll also need 1 large red bell pepper. I like removing the top and the bottom of the pepper first to make it easy to cut away the inside of the pepper, and then you want to take the flesh of the pepper and slice that into similar 1/2 inch size pieces. And these are the main vegetables we're going to need for this dish. You want to combine these potatoes, onions, and red bell pepper together in a large bowl. And to that bowl, we're going to add 1/2 cup's worth of extra virgin olive oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. You want to toss all the diced potatoes, onions, and bell peppers together with the seasoning until they are well combined and well coated. You want to transfer this mix to a parchment paper lined baking sheet. You want to make sure you pick a large baking sheet so that you can evenly spread out all these ingredients into an even layer. You want to place this in the middle of your oven and bake this initially for 15 minutes. And then you want to remove it from the oven, toss the vegetables about some, and then return it to bake for another 15 minutes or until the potatoes are nice and tender. And after this 30 minutes of baking, we want to make sure that our oven rack that the sheet is on is at least 6 inches away from the broiler. And we want to broil these potatoes at 500 degrees Fahrenheit or 260 degrees Celsius for about 2 minutes or until they have turned golden brown. You always want to watch this carefully to make sure you don't over brown your potatoes. Now you can toss the potatoes again and return them to broil more if you desired. I like them with just 1 dose of the broiler. But after that, you want to remove from the oven and season them with some additional salt and black pepper to your own personal taste. You want to allow these potatoes to slightly cool before serving, and now they're ready to be enjoyed. And just like that, you've made oven roasted potatoes right at home. For a slightly different flavor profile, you can always try adding in some diced green bell peppers as well. Trust me, when you try this at home, you'll see not only how easy it is to make, but how absolutely delicious these potatoes are. This makes enough for about 6 servings, but you gotta be careful, you might eat it all by yourself. But when you do try this at home, be sure to tag me at Chef Vic Cuisine or hashtag Chef Vic Cuisine so I can see your great takes on this dish. As always, this recipe and many more can be found in my cookbook, Chef Vic Cuisine Volume 4, Enhancing Your Inner Chef. And that's available on Amazon, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that in my description box. And feel free to click the pop-up on your screen for more information on that as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed learning how to make oven roasted potatoes, and if you did, make sure you smash that like button for me. It's one of the best ways to show support for this channel. And if you haven't done so already, also hit that subscribe button too to see more recipes just like this one. And sharing is caring, so if you enjoyed this recipe and think someone else will too, feel free to share this with all your family and friends. And stay tuned for next week where I try to make a really cool bread dish. I know it as monkey bread, but it's also been called a plucking cake, pull-apart bread, or bubble bread. It's a really delicious, supersized version of a cinnamon roll if you ask me. So I'm really excited to show you all that recipe next week. I really hope you enjoyed the recipe today. You can always check out my recipes on my page now. YouTube thinks you'll like this video, so let's see if they're right. and I'll catch you next time on another episode of Chef Vic Cuisine. And until then, peace.